Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode where I get to share with you my heart insight. And today I'm shooting the video from a different place. As you can see, I'm not shooting it from Glasgow, from the park that's next to my place. I'm shooting it from my family place here in Jordan, because I'm spending the vacation here with my family, so I don't have that much space to go around, so I'll keep just moving in that area. And I want to wish you also a happy new year. I want to wish you that 2017 will be an amazing year. It's a prosperous year, abundant year, a year where you fulfill your desire, a year where you get to live more and more your highest possible expression in life and business and every other area into your life. So the insight I want to share with you, it came from spending time with my family. See, I had 2 weeks vacation with my family. I supposed to leave yesterday, but then I extended it for another 3 days to get to spend more time with my sisters and my niece, nephew, and just my family. And through that time, I had a lot of insights. There was a lot of processing, emotional processing, a lot of understanding, a lot of emotional maturity going on. So I want to share with you one thing that really hit me, and it really made a difference in the quality of the experience I had with my family. And that thing is the following. Most of the triggers we have in our families, the anger, when someone says something and the other person get triggered, you know those kind of repetitive patterns when you go to every family. The mom said something and the daughter get triggered, or the other way around, or whatever the case is. Those repetitive pattern of anger, of trigger, which I've been through through the 2 weeks, it's usually because there is a missing element. And the missing element is this: lack of honest discussion. Lack of honest discussion. If there is an honest discussion, or if there's a real vulnerable discussion that took place, those triggers won't be anymore. But because those honest discussions are more intimate, more vulnerable, more emotionally challenging, because we get to put ourselves in a place that's literally naked emotionally, we prefer to cover those triggers, we prefer to cover those honest and intimate discussion into anger and just projecting things. Now that sounds like just out there, so let me give you an example of what happened with me. As I said, many triggers I've been through, and I processed it and I grow from it. But let me just give you an example to have a better understanding. Me and mom, we always have this conflict. She always tell me, eat more, eat more, eat more, eat more, because she sees me as thin. And I always get triggered. And it's funny, this pattern just been there for a long, long time. And no matter how hard we try to discuss that, there is always that emotional trigger. And at this time, I know if there is an emotional trigger, there is unhealed emotion behind it. So I sat with my mom and we discussed it. I told her this is not something I really appreciate, because it makes me feel like I'm thin, and that's not, I don't like it to project that idea on me. And we had that kind of discussion, and she changed her language. But I was still emotionally triggered, and because at this point I'm acutely sensitive to the energy around me, I'm acutely sensitive to the energy behind the words, so I can really sense things at a very, very, very deep level. So my mom, she changed the language and she stopped saying that, but I was still triggered. Now that's where we had a deep discussion. That's where we sat, both of us, and I told her, you changed the language, but I still feel triggered. That's the way I feel. And by digging deep, we realized that the problem is not that she's trying to tell me to eat, or that she sees me as thin or something like that, because those stuff I healed in myself. What I realized that there is an energy of lack of acceptance behind that. Lack of acceptance to the way I look. And that's what was really triggering me. But because we never had such an honest discussion at this level regarding this pattern, we never healed it. So I'm encouraging you here, look to the places where you're most triggered with your family and have a deep discussion, have an honest discussion. Start by sitting with them and be present with them and ask them to be present with you. And then tell them exactly what they behaved, what they said, whatever it is, and then tell them how that thing made you feel. Because it's so important to bring the dimension of feeling into what you're doing. Once you bring the dimension of feeling, you allow people to become more compassionate with you. You allow people to feel your pain. And that's where the healing starts to take place. Now, as I said, this is a challenging thing to do because you put yourself in a very vulnerable place. You put yourself in a place that you open up your most intimate pain. But this is where the transformation happens. This is where the relationship becomes more intimate. So think what places you need to do discussion, what limits that you need and boundaries you need to set back because you didn't have honest discussion. Maybe your trigger is because of some boundaries that you didn't put place for it, and you need to do that discussion. So that was my advice for today, and that's what I realized in the 2 weeks, that most of the problem in the dynamics of the family, it came out of a lack of honest discussion. Honest discussion about your boundaries, honest discussion about your pains, honest discussion about what do you appreciate and what you don't appreciate, and allowing people to connect with you at that level, and same for you to listen to your family at that intimate level. So that was again my advice today. I hope, as I said, 2017 will become more prosperous here. And as always, go to the world and unleash your highest possible expression. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.